All right then. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is October 9th, 2020. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Present, being held in Albany and also remotely. Present today in Albany is Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fan and Commissioner Ford joining us by video. We also have a staff attending, General Counsel Meyerhoff by video, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Roberts by telephone, and myself, Secretary Donahue, in the Albany office. We have one item on today's calendar. It's a request from Counsel's Office for Emergency Summary Order Suspension. It's agenda number 1334VV. It's Westchester OP 1280785. The licensee is La Bohemia Restaurant Bar Corp.
Good afternoon, members of the authority. The licensee before you today does not have a separate trade name. On the outside, it does say La Bohemia Restaurant Bar. It is located in the city of Mount Vernon, Westchester County, at number 12 East 1st Street. It is a full liquor license, one principal, a Rafael R. de la Cruz. It was licensed as a full restaurant with a menu of meat dishes and seafood dishes. Again, licensed on January 23rd, 2015 to expire at the last day of this year, 2020. The license was for a first floor, having a dining room, a bar, and a kitchen. The diagram shows 6 tables. A certificate of occupancy was submitted with the application showing 49 persons, maximum occupancy on the first floor. The diagrams also show the second floor as a, quote, private party room, close quote. Again, the C of O shows 49 persons. There's some discrepancy in the establishment questionnaire submitted in that it's listed as a maximum occupancy of 49 persons, but it really should be, I guess, 98 in total, 49 and 49. The license indicated there'd be a chef from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the premises would be self-managed by Mr. De La Cruz, that he would be there from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. when the premises are open. No security personnel, only recorded music. This matters before the members due to a police referral that is being submitted to the authority from the City of Mount Vernon Police Department regarding an inspection of the premises during the early morning hours of last Thursday, October 1st, 2020, as well as I can provide you information with my conversation with Lieutenant Quinoy, who was present from the City of Mount Vernon Police Department, and a video that was furnished, as well as some other police officers I've been in contact with today. In any event, the reason why the City of Mount Vernon Police Department inspected this location was that there was apparently a line coming out of the location, or a person's trying to get into the location, and apparently more vehicles in the area than would ordinarily be at 1:30 or so in the morning. So again, on this past last Thursday, October 1st, the police then entered the location. I did review the video which I provided. It was about a 9-minute video, apparently a body cam, which shows police approaching the location. And then as they enter, there's apparently a security guard. The premises, again, said there was going to be no security personnel, but there was a security guard, and Alfredo Santana, who I did look at the Department of State website. There was Alfredo Santana, who was a licensed unarmed security guard. According to Lieutenant Quinoy, this person was hired by the premises. Police then entered. The location had initially, you saw green laser lights. The premises was very dark on the first floor, and when police entered, there was a group of about 10 persons sitting on a couch, consuming alcohol beverages and around hookah equipment. The police asked whether anybody was eating food. Apparently the answer was in the negative, no food being served or consumed. And the police indicated to these people that they were in violation of Governor Cuomo's executive orders regarding the COVID pandemic. You then see the police then ascend to the second floor. There already were police officers who preceded the officer whose body cam video was provided. And the second floor was, from the video, was packed with persons, shoulder to shoulder, very little, if any, wearing of face coverings. The police again indicated to these people that there were, if they didn't leave, they were in violation of the governor's executive orders. If they did not vacate immediately, they'd be issued summonses. People seem to be more or less left the location of the second floor. But again, the second floor, as the first floor, was appeared to be very dim. The police had to use flashlights to navigate inside the location. Apparently, the lights didn't come on until later on. Again, there were hookah equipment. I don't believe I recall seeing any as much hookah equipment in any location as was seen in the video of this premises. Bottles of liquor, very popular item was apparently Don Julio tequila for some reason. Bottles of beer, other brands of liquor in buckets of ice on tables, people sitting, most people standing, but again, in the video, you see numerous persons vacating the location on this second floor. There was also a DJ setup with DJ equipment that police saw, or rather heard, music that apparently was played by a live DJ, but by the time they got there, the DJ had ceased playing music. So clearly, the licensee was in violation of the executive orders 202.41 regarding social distancing, face mask requirements, and also the Department of Health guidelines regarding a sanitary location. The police also noted that it was a highly unsanitary location. It was filthy. There you can see in the photograph submitted with the police referral, boxes of liquor, beer, etc., scattered over the place, and it appeared to be not a sanitary location. There was also bottle service. There was two women who appeared to be in sort of a bodysuit type attire who were, again, a bottle service. Again, it contributed to the idea this place was certainly not operating as a restaurant, but as a nightclub. Again, on the second floor, the police asked, was any food being served? There was no food. When the police looked in the refrigerator, there was only a few bags of some frozen items. And again, stacked in the various parts of the location were just juices, beers, other beverages, very, very little food. In fact, they say the kitchen was closed. If you're looking at the photographs, it doesn't appear that the grill or the fryers had been in use for any time soon. Most persons who were in the video appear to be persons in their 20s. The principal, Mr. De La Cruz, I believe was in the video. He's a gentleman of 64 years of age. So he stood out. I believe there was an older person who did not have a face covering, who did appear to be approached the police officer to some degree. Again, there was other hookah equipment that the police took photographs other than the hookah equipment that people were using. There was smoke that it was very difficult to see, as well as the premises being dark, not particularly lit on both floors. The first and second floor, there was much smoke coming from hookahs, as well as the police inspected the location and found that their fire extinguishers had not been inspected since 2019 and sitting on the floor, otherwise unmounted. Again, the executive order 202.45 was also violated in that there was a head count taken. There were at least 91 persons on the second floor, and that executive order doesn't allow a gathering, in this instance, of more than 50 persons. There was also no books and records on site. The premises apparently did provide to the police receipts for wholesale liquor purchases, but Mr. De La Cruz did not provide the other books and records of the business, which he's required to keep on site. And I believe the last issue was that the police indicated there was a certificate of occupancy for the location that had expired in June of 2013. I have 2013, I believe it was. There was no particular explanation why the certificate had not been up to date. I looked at the Mount Vernon City Code. Apparently, landlords are required to arrange for annual inspections of the location. And perhaps that's what happened in this degree. The police indicated to Mr. De La Cruz when they were there that the premises should close due to the fact that, again, there was an expired certificate of occupancy. I was just in contact before I came into the room with a sergeant from the Mount Vernon Police Department who, on my request, they dispatched a police officer to the premises at about 1:30 this afternoon, about 45 minutes ago, and the premises did appear to be closed for business. There was a person there by the name of Joseph Palooza who was present. The landlord that I saw on the lease is an Edward Peluso, so it may be somebody related to the building owner. In any event, so it appears the lease was closed for business this afternoon. But in any event, just to sum up again, the premises was operating as supposed to be operating a restaurant. It did not seem to be operating that way in any fashion whatsoever. Speaking to Lieutenant Quinnoy, apparently the police had been there in the past several weeks to advise Mr. De La Cruz of the need to comply with the executive orders, but this was apparently a full-fledged inspection as opposed to the apparently just advisements in the prior weeks. There's been no adverse history regarding this location with the liquor authority, no complaints or referrals submitted again since the license was issued 5 years ago. But clearly, this is a licensee, I believe, that should be considered by the members for a summary order suspension based on their violations of the executive orders and the violations of the basis of their application representations regarding being a restaurant and not having security personnel. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Bob, just to point out a couple other things. I don't know if Bob mentioned, but based on the lack of food available, it would also be a violation of Executive Order 202.52. I would also point out to the members that the method of operation suggests that they're only going to be open until 10 o'clock, although I don't see that on the license. But a certificate of occupancy that expired in June 2013 for a location that we first licensed in 2015 raises another issue, which I would like our office to investigate on whether or not there's false material statement in the application or a failure to notify. For those and other reasons, we've presented the case. Thank you.
But I just want to add, I don't believe we hold licensees to times unless there's a stipulation that from a community board or municipality. So again, the licensee said he'll have a chef until 9 p.m. and he'll be there till 10 p.m., but there's no particular hours stated by stipulation in the application as far as I can see.
Gary, you said the certificate of occupancy expired. Is that correct?
2013. The one that was on the wall anyway.
And what was it for? Was that for 49 or was it for 98?
But
No, we have a picture
what
of
was
it.
on the wall was just actually for the ground floor. That was the only thing the police sent to us, but the C of O submitted with the application was from 1990, which I provided, and it shows again 49 for the first floor as a bar and restaurant use, and second floor 49 as well as a restaurant. So again, that was I believe a 1990 dated C of O that was submitted with the application.
So the second floor was licensed by the SLA.
Yes, again, it's designated in the diagram as again, a quote, private party room. No tables, just looks like an open space. Again, when the police went there on this October 1st date, there were some high top tables, but it appears to be most of the people were just, again, standing. Again, the police describe, again, the people as being shoulder to shoulder. And again, the video shows if any people wearing face coverings. I really didn't see it. Again, I've never seen much hookah equipment in a location and people were packed in. So clearly this might be a textbook definition, if there was one, of a super spreader event. Again, most people eat beer in their 20s and perhaps.
Tom, can you ask questions?
I'm sorry, what?
I think we got enough. Can you just go around and ask if there's any
Right.
questions?
Commissioner Fan, do you have any questions?
Mr. Buckley, I just want to clarify. So you said there were 91 people that were recorded on the second floor, and then what about the first floor?
Only about a handful, about 10. They were mostly
Okay.
in the rear, sitting around on a couch or with hookah equipment.
Right. So that's sort of like 101 people, and maximum occupancy is 89, right?
Well, 49, 49, so yeah, 98. But there were at
Okay.
least 100 or so people, at least.
And their method of operation allows a DJ or no DJ?
Only recorded music.
Only recorded music. And
No
you mentioned
DJ,
that
no-
there were maybe dancers that were performing, or you think they were more cocktail waitresses?
The latter. Well, they're bottle
Okay.
service women, as they're
Got it.
called. Again, there were bottles, there were, full bottles or half-consumed bottles of liquor. Again, for some reason, Don Julio tequila was very popular, but other brands as well, on these tables when the people were evacuated.
And you said they have no adverse history?
No referrals, no complaints, so no
And they
actions
don't
been
have an existing EO violation either? There has been not an NOP that's gone out?
No, as I say, Commissioner, apparently a different squad than Lieutenant Quinoy's deployment on this October 1st date apparently has visited the location. Just again, probably to remind them of the requirement to comply with the EOs, but no referrals have come in from the city of Mount Vernon.
Right,
Other
but
than
but you said that there were warnings from before?
Well, again, I'm talking to Lieutenant Quinoy, who was on this October 1st inspection. And so again, sometimes he works midnight, sometimes he works days. So he was sort of had a secondhand information about other officers' physical, because I specifically asked, has this location been warned, or, has this been location inspected? Since it's clearly not a restaurant, has it been inspected before in any way? And he said all he knows that, again, there were some visits in the last few weeks or so.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Commissioner Ford, do you have any other questions?
Nope, I've already asked my questions. I'm done. Thank you.
All right then. Chairman Bradley, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, then I'm going to call for a vote of the full board. First, Commissioner Fan.
Based on evidence presented by Counsel Buckley and based on the video and other police reports that were submitted as part of this matter, it's clear that this location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare, and this licensee is blatantly ignoring the governor's executive order surrounding COVID-19. I therefore vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford.
Based on evidence presented by counsel, including the video, it's clear that this licensee, how do I put it, wasn't even trying. So I have no other option but to vote to summarily suspend this license to protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right then, Chairman Bradley, your vote, please.
Based on the presentation as well as the paperwork submitted by the Mount Vernon Police Department, I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear that this licensee is violating multiple executive orders put in place by the governor in order to protect from COVID-19. And as a result of not following those executive orders, they have become a risk to the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right, Chairman, I have no other items on the calendar. Is there anything else you want to have considered?
No thanks.
All right, then
Thanks.
we're adjourned then. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you, Tom. Commissioners.